As the cool kids say, it's lit. Can you really make that joke when it's two brothers trying to melt each other? I mean, if I can't make this joke now, when can I make it? Thank you to our $5 patron, Sinus Lancelot, Artgoon, and Praise the Sun. And a big thank you to our $25 patron, the Mr. Greed. Now, before we hop into this breakdown / review of Chapter 351 of My Hero Academia, please do me a favor, leave your own list on the chapter in the comment section down below. Leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Also, make sure you hit that little notification bell so you don't miss out on any videos that come to the channel. Also, I do a Patreon down below where you can support me for as low as $1 a month. Any support would be appreciated. Now, let's get into last week's poll. So, last week I ended up asking y'all nothing, because we were on break. However, the week before that, I ended up asking y'all, what did you think of Dabi's character at this point? With the last little bit of his backstory revealed, or at least the last bit I feel like we're going to get for a while, if not ever, I want to know what you thought on the character so far. And I don't know what I expected. No, I'm kidding. But unsurprisingly, with a massive, juicy 57%, 7 to 8 out of 10. He's really good just off that top spot. With the runner-up actually being 5 to 6, he's all right, but he could be done better. Notably, I'm somewhere in like the 3 to 4 range myself. Like, I believe he plays his role in the story, which was 8%. However, the third spot actually was 9 to 10, best villain ever, Shigaraki. And I feel like out of the 198 votes there were, some of y'all were just doing it to clown on me, because y'all know I like Shigaraki way more than Dabi. But some of y'all may actually think that. Wait for the Dabi video to drop. No, I'm kidding. In actuality, it is good to get the community consensus. Notably, 4% actually did think he's dog water and gets smacked like crazy. But, and to be fair, if I was on my slander kick, right? If I was like truly being completely deep and honest, would I be a 1 to 2? But he serves his role in the story. He's not dog water. He kind of is though. I don't know. This chapter makes him a 3 to 4 in my eyes. However, other than this, thank you for everyone who voted, a whole 198 votes. Love getting the community consensus on videos like these and discussions like these, because that's what these videos are. And in the end, the reviews, discussions, I get my thoughts out there so I can hear your guys' thoughts and we can have a whole discussion on it. So please make sure you hit tomorrow's poll, dropping at 12 p.m. to make sure you get involved in not even next week, or the week after that. I think like 2 weeks from now's poll, or not 2 weeks from now's poll, the next 2 weeks from now's video, because you're going to be voting in tomorrow's poll. Thank you guys so much for voting. And now let's get into chapter 351. What's up, guys? I'm Pencil, and here we are for chapter 351 of My Hero Academia, which is known as Twin Flashing Flames by Kohei Horikoshi. And this chapter, I suppose you could say it was heat. Yeah, I'm here all week, and also the week after that, and the week after that, and like 52 weeks before, probably more than 52 weeks at this rate. Man, that's crazy. But regardless of that, let's hop into the chapter itself. So we open up, and we get to see a quite interesting discussion, if you were to ask me, myself, and I. We open up with a elaboration on Flash Fire Fist, the origin of it, where it came from, and how it even functions. And notably, for some reason, I didn't even consider this, like the idea that it was actually written down, because notably this is, I'm not sure if what they reference here is something real or something fake. Like, I think it's just an inverse thing, because it's performed by raising one's internal temperature and accumulating as much heat as humanly possible to then release it in an incredibly strong burst. This technique is honed by a young endeavor and is considered the apex of fire moves. Excerpt from the Hero's Guidebook. Is there a Hero's Guidebook in real life? Like, I'm literally not sure if that's an actual book, but like, when would Endeavor had time to have explained that? Like, I don't think he was ever a media guy. Like, sure, he wanted the attention of number one, but I feel like I doubt he went around explaining his craft. But apparently it's in a guidebook? I mean, I'm not complaining. I don't know. It's an interesting bit of world building that there are guidebooks out there on heroes, and like they may have gone out and explained their abilities. But I don't know. It was interesting in a good way. I was gonna say weird. It was good, weird, and interesting in a good way. So I appreciate that. And we see that apparently this technique only came about because Endeavor at the time felt like he had reached his limits in terms of firepower. And we know the whole idea of limits in firepower is why we have the two Todoroki brothers fighting it out at all. So pretty cool tie-in. And we see that the heat from these flames, and this is a bar. This is a bar and a half. This is a bar for a bar on a bar with a bar. However, the heat from those flames would end up warping the future hero dream. Oop, darn it. Hold on. Let me run it back. However, the heat from those flames would end up warping the future he dreamt of, just as a shimmer of hot air. That's a bar. And I love how we see the two warped futures colliding here, with Dabi literally just breathing out fire and Shoto being suppressed. It's like letting out a little wisp here or there. Meanwhile, Dabi about that smoke. By that smoke, I mean that fire. By that fire, I mean that burning death. Because he literally is just burning away his grafted on skin. So, hey, he do him. I don't knock the hustle. However, we see from this point on, we move to the battle itself. And notably, Dabi at the top of the spire, I think he literally leaps in midair. Yeah, he leaps off of the statue that he's been melting. And he reveals that this is probably the first time, well, let's see, getting that off my chest. Yeah, it seems like this is the first time he ever even told that story to anybody. That whole story about the past of Dabi Todoroki or Todoroki. And he actually thanks Shoto for listening to the little rant. And, dude, like, I've already done enough complaining about Dabi, so I'm only going to be positive in this review, so I won't say anything. But we get to see that he's happy, and now Shoto is just blown away at the level of temperature that Dabi is just popping off with. Like, somehow, some way, this man is going crazy, despite the fact that, one, his body shouldn't be supporting it, according to his very own backstory, and two, he should somewhat be suffering a little bit, considering he's not even skin and bones, he's bones and meat. There's no interface other than the very muscle tendons and the muscles themselves underneath his skin. So obviously, Todoroki's a little bit shook. And we get to see that, like, it feels so, like, I get it. And this chapter tries to justify it. So I think no, I don't. I really don't. Why would you set up this entire B-plot with the Todoroki family, have it based entirely around Endeavor, and then not have Endeavor be here? Why? Like, it's one of, like, Horikoshi in narrative. Like, and notably, I guess I could blame it on the heroes, because that's what this is going on. But I don't know, because considering I'm tackling this from the perspective as an Outerverse reader, and I'm just analyzing a character arc, a conclusion to a character arc would work best if the linchpin of said character arc, or character arcs plural in this case, were here. Why is he not here? But Pencil, he needs to go fight All For One. What is he gonna do to All For One? Being real, All For One's that dude. He's that guy. He is him. He is definitely him. You do not want to try him. He is not one of them. So, like, when you have this entire thing, and once again, as Dabi says, like, he wanted Endeavor. Todoroki is nothing but firewood to him. I don't, like, the emotional link isn't there. Like, I just don't see it. And this is, once again, this is no fault of the characters. It's just the fault of how Horikoshi built the narrative. It's the same reason why I have a problem with Dabi. Notably, okay, I think Dabi's character's boring. But still, and one of my main issues with Dabi is that Horikoshi just, and this isn't even Horikoshi's fault. This is so weird. Like, I keep shifting the blame away. But, like, it's not the character's fault. And it's not Horikoshi's fault. But it's like Horikoshi had to react to certain things. There's so many different details I'm going to go into on the Dabi video. But essentially, the narrative that was written here does not have a clean conclusion set up, and I don't know why. Like, Horikoshi, you easily could have written it that Endeavor showed up here. Like there's no point to not have him here, especially considering the entire point of that flashback we got, or those flashbacks that we got in around the early 300s, was to instigate and set up the fact that the Todoroki family as a whole was going to deal with Dabi, not just Shoto. So why is Shoto the only one dealing with Dabi? Like, notably, when that happened, I took it with a grain of salt in the terms of, like, Rei, Fuyumi, and Natsuo being there. They are not combatants. Rei is fragile, Fuyumi is not a heroine or combatant, and neither is Natsuo. Those people aren't fighters. But I figured it would at least be on the back of the two fighters of the family, and Endeavor and Shoto, to actually be there and deal with Dabi, but no, it's not. And who knows, maybe it was a plan originally that Endeavor was supposed to pop up through a portal or something like that, but I don't know, it's kind of whack. And, like, I know, I'm sorry, I'm stuck on this point, but I can kind of see maybe the whole reason. No, because even Endeavor's, like, later on in this chapter, Endeavor says he wanted to go. But I'm about to say, like, the only hypothetical excuse you could have had is that they didn't want to risk Endeavor going there because they thought he would lose his fighting spirit looking at his son, like he did in the middle of the war. Like, if that was the case, that'd be one thing. But no, we get in this chapter that Endeavor wanted to go here. So I don't get it, personally. Or Goshi, I get it. Technically, Dabi is Shoto's villain, quote unquote, but he's Shoto's villain in a general sense. He's the fire dude, Shoto's the fire and ice dude, and they happen to be related. Meanwhile, all the tension of this arc, all the balled up tension is between Endeavor and Dabi. So don't know why you would remove the Endeavor from the equation. But that's just me. I don't know. I am not a world famous mangaka, so I will shut up. Just keep it pushing. And speaking of keeping it pushing, we get to see that Todoroki, in response to being called a nice little piece of firewood, a nice little piece of flint, he's lighting it up. He is determined to say, well, he is determined enough to say, I'll be the one who stops you. And see, this is why I just... Positivity, rainbows, sunshine, kittens, puppies, everything, positivity. But I'm kidding. But we see that Dabi has been preparing for years to kill Shoto. Fight it, Pat. Fight it. But can I fight it? Okay. I'm gonna get a little bit toxic, dude. If it was just focused on Endeavor, I would get it. It would make sense. It would be a fine narrative. It's so easy. The good character, it's right there. It's right there, Horikoshi. Why would you have an abuse, well, quote unquote, because I still don't even believe it. Not gonna lie. But why would you have an abuse victim want to kill a fellow abuse victim over the fact that they were both abused by a man who isn't even there? Like, what? Why? I mean, I get it, because he's not, like, this is the thing. All negativity I have to say about Dabi can be justified by the simple and clean excuse that he's just crazy, Pencil. They called it in the very last chapter, the flames of insanity. He's just nuts. And, like, I know that should be enough for me, right? I should be able to let it slide, but that's so boring. Like, I don't... Dabi video, incoming. However, of course... Enough toxicity. See, look at that. The toxicity is poisoning even my verbiage. So, enough toxicity. Puppies, rainbows, ponies, magic, baby lions, kittens, lion cubs, amazing, whatever. We see that Dabi essentially decided to take advantage of his new body, right? Considering the fact that the original Dabi, before he got lit up, his only thing was turning up the heat. Fail the heat. Why is that a quote ringing in my head? Fail the heat. Is that Hades from Kingdom Hearts 1? No, I think it's Kingdom Hearts 2. I'm sorry. I don't know why. Well, I know why, because we're talking about characters that use fire. But sorry about that. But essentially, Dabi said, well, if my only good thing back before I was a crispy chicken nugget was the fact that I could turn up the heat, considering I no longer feel pain, I might as well just turn up the heat entirely. And it's interesting. So Dabi can't feel pain, but he always used to itch at his scars. I'm not sure if that's a continuity error or it's just like a tick Dabi had that he would itch. Like, I mean, I'm assuming all of his receptors are dead. Maybe he has other receptors. I'm not sure if itching and pain are the same thing. So I'm not a doctor. But it does feel weird because I remember Dabi would always scratch and like, wouldn't he even recoil after using his flames? Like, he wouldn't use them forever. But now apparently he can't. Maybe that's probably just me misunderstanding. I think I may just be misunderstanding and misremembering things. So I'm not even going to blame that on Horikoshi. I'm just going to say I missed something. However, with that being said, Dabi's like, well, I feel no pain. I have no limitations. And my body's going to burn away. Anyway, might as well feel the heat. And then now he allowed himself to turn up completely. The burners are on. The gas is lit. The flash fire fist is on deck. And notably, I know I say it pretty much every review. I know y'all getting tired of it at this point. Oh, it's a My Hero Academia. Now Pencil's gonna praise Horikoshi's art. And you're absolutely right. The flash fire fist, I may not like Dabi as a character, but that is gorgeous. Oh, I put that on my wall. It'd be a poster. Look at how gorgeous that is. The ashen body contrasted by the bright white core of the flames, heat, and the startling white hair against the background, and you just see his eye. It is amazing. I love it. The detail, the shape. Is that even cross-hatching? He even threw some cross-hatching in there. I don't even know what that gray stuff is. Is it just color? Like, notably, I don't know how mangaka worked in grayscale. Like, considering, I mean, I'm not sure if Horikoshi, Tabata, and stuff like that, because they're the two that, like, off the domer immediately come to mind as, like, grayscale usage. I don't know why that they come to mind immediately, but, like, I'm not sure if they're digital artists or traditional artists, because, like, maybe you have, like, gray pencils or something like that, but I don't know. I always struggle with, like, doing grayscale in the way that they do. That's why you see, like, 15 different versions of cross-hatching whenever I do things, because I just don't know how to do it. But regardless, it's just Flash Fire Fist, a flash of beauty. It is amazing, gorgeous, wonderful. I'd like it. But regardless, we see that, and it's interesting. I think it's in reaction to, I don't know. It's very weird that he throws that out. Like, he goes into Flash Fire Fist and he says, "You a fan of All Might, Shoto?" I think maybe because, like, 2 pages ago he like melted the All Might statue when Todoroki was looking at it, but, like, and after saying that, he proceeds to launch Spider Underworld, or Underworld Spider. And admittedly, once again, welcome back to your daily pencil praise arc, where we praise everything that Horikoshi does, because he's just the GOAT. Look at the beauty in that Underworld Spider panel. It is gorgeous. The dark, legitimately, I look at Horikoshi sometimes and I'm like, how do you think of this? How do you conceptualize this in your head and say, you know what, I'm putting it to page? Like, notably, I think of things. I just can't execute them. But still, in that same vein, like, Horikoshi really thought, there's so many things about this panel. First, the coloring of the flames themselves, the pure white core, the gray middle part, and then the ink night black outside outline, which is then dotted with white dots to show the emphasis in the flickers of heat and the gaps in heat, which would be present in a fire stream. And then you have the different scales, the different way they wrap around, the different scale of the characters involved. It's a perspective shot, so essentially you are at the back lower left corner of the panel, and then he's coming from the top. Like, Horikoshi, he just different. Like, like, this man is different. Like, love Record of Ragnarok. That's produced on a monthly basis. Horikoshi does this week by week. And I know he's been break recently, but it doesn't matter. The man still produces this bi-weekly. This looks better than Dragon Ball Super. It looks better than Boruto. It looks just as good, if not at times better than Record of Ragnarok. It looks just as good, if not at times better than a lot of monthly manga. Like, Seraph of the End, this looks better than Seraph of the End. Like, the fact that Horikoshi as an artist is able to produce this week by week, by week, like, it's just nutty to me. I can't imagine. That's why I say the man needs rest, and I get why he's killing My Hero Academia and starting a horror manga, because I know his life has been horrific. Like, just imagine doing this week by week. Ugh, I could never. Essentially, I could never. I've said it once and I'll say it again. You want me to be a mangaka, I will give you a chapter once a year. I could never do this. However, the beauty of that panel is the fact that it just absolutely annihilates everything in it. Like, everything gets shot. Even the Nomu has to, like, slightly dodge the fire flames. The fire flames. The flame fire. The hot substance that also happens to be fire. I'm sorry. But we see that they're shocked at, one, how hot the move is, and two, that Dabi can actually replicate Endeavor's technique here. And the thing is that while Endeavor used this technique to split apart that building and carefully make it so where nothing hit the ground with extreme force, Dabi's like, let me see. Do you need to be alive? The answer? No? Perish. And it's just widespread as your destruction, if you will. And I love it. I don't know. I really, once again, cool surface level character who serves his point in the narrative, but man, you just can't think on him. But we see that Ida is not worried about Todoroki, because obviously, even with how strong as Todoroki is, these flames, they're kind of lit. So obviously he's worried about Todoroki's integrity, even with his ice side. But we immediately cut it back from Ida to the heroes who are, well, the hero assistants that are guarding Shoto, the sidekicks. They're all blocking off the flame in their own unique ways, and Shoto's in the back preparing himself. And fun fact, the like button is free. I'd really appreciate if you hit that, and the subscribe button. Those both help the channel a lot. However, before that, after that, I guess, what is truly, truly amazing, from the bottom of my heart, so the Horikoshi can have such peak in one chapter, and then have this weird Todoroki face. Like, I don't know what he did with Shoto's eyes there, but they are just simply too thick. They're too girthy, they're too large, they are too engorged. I simply cannot take it seriously. Because he says, yeah, let's go. But his eyes are just bug wide open. These are the biggest eyes I've ever seen on the character. Maybe that's it. Maybe this is a facial expression he would actually make. It's just that after being subdued for so long, I just can't even get behind the eyes. However, speaking of getting behind something, Dabi got behind Todoroki. And I don't know, I find it hilarious how he did it, right? Because, like, I'm assuming the way he stopped himself, like, he propulsed himself off of fire, obviously. You can see that by the way the fire leads to him. But I'm assuming he literally dug his burning feet into the ground. Because you literally see, like, that's not fire. It looks like something's liquefying. So he's literally burying himself into solid concrete with his raw heat. And we see that the main reason he did this was obviously to catch Shoto off guard. But the best part about this is, right, like, the sidekicks realize what has happened, that he used the underworld spider as essentially an immediate distraction, and he got behind Shoto, and then he proceeds to do literally the most epic thing I've pretty much seen in the entire series, where he reels back, and he goes on to say, like, there's something I want you to tell me, Shoto. How on earth do you have the patience? And, like, he reels back. Oh wait, no, this isn't the right one. But I do like he gets Shoto on the turn. Like Shoto turns to swing or like fight back, but Dabi instantly sends the punch and then launches him away with the blast of fire. Interesting. I mean, fire always was concussive in My Hero Academia, but it's always interesting to see it. But we see that, Dabi, like, I just, like, notably, I, like, feel words, English, I speak it, I promise. I feel like Dabi is still missing a piece of his backstory. Because, like, I personally just don't get how you go from, I want to be a hero, just like my dad, to, all civilians are worthless and they deserve to die just like the rest of my family. Like, I don't know, where does it come from? Like, I still feel like there's a massive leap missing, but there isn't. Like, I mean, unless something happened on that little miniature journey he had after he burned down All For One's little kids facility, I really simply just can't begin to fathom or understand how he became. I mean, he's crazy. That's the thing, right? That answers all the questions. He's nutty. He's crazy. He's stupid. He can go crazy. Go stupid. But, like, that's what Dabi did. He just went crazy and he went stupid. Because he was always crazy. But, like, it's just boring. Okay, I'm sorry. We see that Dabi is essentially questioning Shoto, like, broski, we're better than them. You're Endeavor's son. My bro. But right now, I can't believe this. I can't believe I have to tell you this. Face to face, eye to eye, flesh to flesh. But you're a worthless mix of ice and fire. However, I do see the translator's note there. And I will admit, the translator's note makes that line 10 times as more as a bar, bro. Let me read that out to you. Hold on. Toyo calls Shoto a broth of despair in the original. In Japanese, the word for broth is made up of the kanji of boil and freeze, owing to the fact that ramen broth is prepared by boiling the meat first and then letting it chill for a day in the refrigerator. You know who else got boiled? Shoto's face. I don't know. I feel like Dabi didn't mean it like that, but the fact that he referred to it as a broth of despair, I don't know. That is just so hilarious to me. That's, once again, this chapter is pretty full of bars. I do like it. The chapter is pretty barful. It's going bar for bar, but we get to see, like, I don't get Dabi's character. Tell me, please, why people like this character. No, I'm kidding. But we see that he's essentially mad at Shoto because he's not the perfect son of Endeavor. But I don't know, because he says, have you no shame at all, Shoto? And we get to see that as Burden rushes in and mentally admits, like, well, Shoto's pretty firepowered here. He doesn't have enough to keep up with. Actually, hold on. Before we actually move on to that, I love the way the two brothers are, like, fighting each other. Notably, like, Dabi using Underworld Spider as a distraction, propelling himself with his flames, and then proceeding to stop himself by digging his flaming feet and hands into the concrete to wombo combo Shoto into a punch. And then he lunges at Shoto, and Shoto, in order to protect himself and try and cool down his brother, uses ice, but then like he uses ice, and knowing Dabi's own heat will melt the ice in time, that he'll essentially just go sliding, and at the same time all the water vapor will essentially act as a cooling device for Dabi. Like, the choreography, the battle intellect here, kind of heat, not gonna lie. However, we get to see that, and this is the thing, it just don't make sense. It don't make sense. You had the perfect body, the perfect training environment. Bro, the training environment was abusive. Because of you. Like, the whole reason you quote unquote became Dabi was because the training environment wasn't perfect. You thought it mirrored your experience, when it really didn't. It was worse, according to the flashbacks we got, but supposedly it mirrored your own experience. So it wasn't the perfect training ground. So why are you getting mad at Shoto for not thriving in an abusive household? Dabi, bro, like, pick a lane. Essentially, that's the most simple way I can put it. Pick a lane, bro, because either you hate Endeavor for all that he's done, his training and blah blah blah, and how he instilled such into you, or you respect Endeavor for the training and stuff he put into you. One or the other, because it can't be both. Because no matter which path you choose, it don't make sense. This is the thing. Like, I'm kind of shocked. I mean, I get it. Dabi's whole narrative, and I think I said the exact same thing about live reaction. Shout out to the live reactions. They happen on Patreon. You can get those for as low as $1 a month. But in the live reaction, I very specifically say, like, I get what Dabi's whole narrative is about, right? He is the jealous older brother that was upshown by the younger sibling. But in the same vein, right? It's not the younger sibling's fault for being born. Like, I don't get how. I mean, that's the thing. I keep falling back mentally. He's crazy. That's the only excuse we have here. Because he's like, you've had everything, you were born, but you weren't man enough to own it. Someone had to tell it to you like it is, brother. Someone needs to tell it to you like it is, brother. You need to stop. Like, you need to be stopped on that Trunks type beat. Like, legitimately, dude. What if he just didn't want to be a hero, bro? Like, legitimately, I still 100% believe. Shout out to What If Midoriya Was Confident. Go check that out. But one of the things that made Midoriya say in that is, like, why become a hero if you want to spite your dad? But in this case, I'm looking at Dabi and I'm like, bro, Todoroki did not want to be man enough to take it, because he didn't want that. He did not want to be abused. He would have just loved to have lived a regular life. Maybe with some normal training from his dad like you got, Dabi. But who knows? Maybe the reason he wasn't so receptive to the normal training was because you tried to kill him, which led him to being isolated, and then you went and died because you refused to listen to your parents. And that's like, hold on, positivity, rainbows. I'm sorry, I'm going in too deep. But we see that essentially Dabi is like, Dad loved you more because you were born better, and you being born is your fault. Yeah. Like, can you imagine going up to somebody and saying that? You were born better than me. Okay. That's your fault. How? Like, dude, come on now. I really don't get how Dabi has this deep vitriolic hate, but he doesn't even. So many weird stuff. However, like, he even says you can't even act as a puppet correctly, bro. What are you? Like Dabi, straight up, look in the mirror, bro. Are you a proper puppet? Are you dancing to the appropriate? What song are you dancing to, Dabi? Like, bro, what you doing right now, dog? Look at yourself. Look at yourself in the mirror. What do you think? What are you accomplishing right now? What are you proving to Endeavor? Other than the fact that you are his puppet, you have Endeavor so far up your booty cheeks, you might as well call you Dabi the Mitt. Like, legitimately, you are so deep on Endeavor's meat that is unbelievable. Like, I can't even begin to process how much. I gotta stop. But essentially, Dabi, you are riding so hard, bro. Please take a break, take a breather, get off, and reconsider the consequences of your actions, bro. Like, it's crazy how deep Dabi is on the I hate Endeavor, but I love him. Oh, why doesn't Daddy love me? Maybe because if I didn't let stop it. But admittedly, once again, it leads to a really cool panel. I want to admit, once again, welcome to the fact that the like button is free and the subscribe button is free too. And it really help out the channel if you hit both of those. Thank you so much. But the thing is, we get this really cool panel, and I love it too. It's so gorgeous, where Dabi reels back, and I love it. He stomps into the fit. He stomps into the pullback with his left leg, reels back with his right fist, and just drives. Like, it is a solid, meaty, girthy uppercut to the gut. But the thing is, because it's all flame and there's so much energy packed between him and his fist, Shoto is literally being pushed back by like an entire 4 foot, or like 2.5, well, a meter and a half away, and he's just flying by the Jetfire fist or Jet Burn, and I love it. It is such a gorgeous panel. I love how Shoto is just he's essentially hugging the fire because of how much force Dabi is releasing by simply existing and burning away. That is gorgeous. I love it. I love it. I love it. But good to see that Dabi wasn't playing. He jet burned that man into a building and proceeded to annihilate the building and multiple floors of it by simple heat propulsion. However, we see that somehow, in some way, even though he was a decent bit away and didn't even really come in contact with Dabi, he actually did manage to leave some ice on Dabi, to the point where Dabi's like, oh no, cold. And we see that Todoroki is like, you know what, big bro? You spitting. You're right. I am fodder. For the longest time, I couldn't even understand the fact that I was fodder. So much so that I couldn't even find my own way. And honestly, I thought myself as nothing but fodder, because I am fodder. But we see that apparently not only did Dabi fail to absolutely annihilate him, obviously speaking, and not only did Todoroki get some ice on him, but on top of that, apparently Todoroki managed to neutralize a majority of the heat he was just blasted with. And we see that, and this is in Todoroki, you just like me, bro, because he literally says, I thought you only cared about Dad. Don't worry, Todoroki, I thought he only cared about Dad too, but apparently not. But we get to see that apparently, I can see what horror code. Sorry, I have a certain, and I can never hurt you. I can't sing, but I have that melody stuck in my head, and because I was listening to it a lot earlier, so now I'm almost saying everything along there. But I can see what Horikoshi is trying to do here, right? Because he's essentially doing the brotherly dynamic. Todoroki straight up admits that he's happy that all the time that Dabi was focusing on Endeavor, he was also in some way, shape, or form focusing on him. It makes him happy, and I guess attention from your big brother is pretty important, even if they want to slaughter you. But of course, we get to see that Dabi has awakened Todoroki in a sense. He's finally been given a clear path to travel down, and he activates Flash Fire. But we see that Dabi isn't ready, because Todoroki activated this new technique and developed it all by himself. A special move specifically created to annihilate Daberson himself. And notably, we do a quick flashback, right? And we see that Shoto is talking on the phone with Endeavor about and Endeavor's asking let's redo the distribution, right? Because honestly, I do not want you 1v1ing Dabi yourself. It's just not worth it. And honestly, it wouldn't make sense for any of our character arcs if you were to just fight Dabi by yourself, especially considering we had a whole multi-chapter mini arc about how we as the Todoroki family would deal with it, and you and I are the only combatants. So it only makes sense for both of us to be there, considering Natsuo, Rei, and Fuyumi cannot be there. But Todoroki says, but what about all for one? Among the main heroes, you're the only one who can stand up against him right now. Just as Midoriya is the only one who can stop Shigaraki. Both cap, not gonna lie. And because Endeavor, love the man, still kind of fodder. Not gonna lie, I don't really see how Endeavor is anyway. I mean, stand up to him. But the thing is, I could stand up to Dwayne The Rock Johnson. That don't mean I'm going to win. If I had a character arc elsewhere, but I had the hypothetical possibility to go fight Dwayne The Rock Johnson, I'll just go complete my character arc there. That's way more manageable. Like the completion of my character arc is going and dealing with Kevin Hart. Meanwhile, fighting All For One would be the equivalent of fighting The Rock. Things I just don't need in my life. So Endeavor, I don't know. I feel like you should have vetoed this decision. And same thing to Midoriya. Like, I don't know. I get it, he's strong, and obviously we have the second Squirk, which is going to secretly be the super duper ultra mega crazy quirk of all quirks that's going to save the day. But regardless, right now he's pretty weak too. So I don't know, Todoroki, you kind of highballing, my boys. You kind of highballing. But we see that Toya essentially declares that he wants to stop Toya in his tracks, and he wants to be the one to do it. He doesn't want to do it alongside. Well, no, he doesn't want to do it alongside. But that's the thing. It's weird, right? Because he's like, I too am the best. I too am the best pick to stop Toya in his tracks. Not only that, I want to be the one to do it. And Endeavor clearly says, because he's spitting right here, that's my duty. Yeah, because it's his son. But according to according to Todoroki, he's like, we'll do it together. Even though Endeavor isn't even here. I don't know. But we see that Todoroki declares that he will do what he must and stop not just his brother, but every single villain. And hold on one second. Yeah, okay, I'm back. But however, we get to see that Dabi, he has something to hear, or at least Todoroki has something to tell him, right? He's like, there's something your stupid brother wants to tell you too. Yes, our house was awful. Yes, our father was insane. See, Todoroki, bro, you just didn't see the same flashbacks I did, bro. Like, honestly, yo dad, he was kind of sane. And also, according to his wife, he was a pretty chill dude. But his first son was nuts. His first son was crazy. And made the living conditions awful. That I'll admit. But regardless of that, we see that Todoroki brings up in a fantastic, amazing, legendary point. Yeah, Dabi, we had a hard knock life. No, Todoroki had a hard knock life. Dabi didn't. But Dabi, we had a hard knock life. But that doesn't give you the excuse to suddenly go out and become a mass murderer. Like, and I don't even blame Dabi for that. And I don't even blame Shoto for that. Like, that's a very clear assertion. It's the same reason why I don't think he should be redeemed. He just needs to, like get him up out of here. He literally walked down that path for some reason, because he's nuts. Same reason Toga walked down that path, because she's nuts. And so is Shigaraki. Like as much as I love Shigaraki, he's crazy too. But like, I like the reason I'm making Shigaraki videos so I can explain why I love the dude so much. But I think the reason should be pretty obvious why I love him. But one of the things that I will drop here is narrative continuity. If you have narrative continuity within your character, that'll make me chef's kiss, love him all the more. But we see that, like, literally, this is the best moment that Todoroki's ever had in the entire series. Shoto happily and loudly declares, don't you ever again dare to steal the lives of people who had nothing to do with your downfall. And yeah, he really shouldn't. You tell him, Todoroki. You tell him. I'm staying all the way back here though. I really ain't trying to get hurt. But you tell him. You spitting. And like, Dabi's mad that he's the golden boy. But isn't that what you wanted him to be? Like, Dabi, you're nutty hypocrite. I don't know. I do not personally to this day. After this reveal, or no, after the Dabi reveal, I don't know. I've lost all interest in Dabi's character because it just gets worse and worse and worse. But we see that what Todoroki apparently did and developed, I don't know. Todoroki declares that the best way for Dabi to deal with his emotions is to take it out on his family. But Shoto, you realize the last time he tried to take it out on his family, he tried to kill your dad, and he tried to kill you as a baby. He also tried to kill your mom. I'm pretty sure Natsuo and Fuyumi have at least one horror story of this man. I don't think you really want him to take it out on his family. However, apparently Shoto uses something called phosphorus. I don't get the reference. I legitimately don't. Is that supposed to mean something? Like phosphorus. I know that's an element that's commonly found in our bodies, but like, I'm not sure what and it's just the coloring, because the coloring, it's a beautiful panel once again, but I'm not sure what it is. Like, I thought the ultimate combination of Shoto that would be used to calm Dabi would be water. And it kind of looks like that, because like there are no flames from Dabi anymore, and it seems to be cooling him down. But I don't know, whatever this phosphorus thing is, it's working. Is phosphorus like the stuff in fire extinguisher? I don't know. I don't know what Todoroki did, but it's cooling Dabi down, and that's it. By the way, you don't like button is free. Also, the subscribe button is free. However, that's the end of the chapter, and let's talk about it. So, overall, no matter how many times if I remove my biases, if I were to set aside my distaste for Dabi, to put it lightly, this is still a really good chapter. I really like the artwork in this chapter. Is obviously just consistently off the hook. If there's outside the one panel, Horikoshi never fumbles in this chapter art wise, and we can excuse one panel when we have literally 1,400 other pages of pure peak. Like I can let that slide, and I like what Todoroki's doing here, finally getting some real, actual on-screen development. You know, I think his final statement to take it all out on his family, kind of stupid. I'm not gonna lie, and that's the thing, right? The chapter on a whole is just kind of stupid, but the words they say are kind of stupid. If this chapter had no text, and it was just the pure, beautiful action back to back to back, then I think it would just be a solid 10 out of 10 chapter, but I'm going to give it a 9, just because some of the stuff is stupid. But other than that, this is a really solid chapter. Art's great. I like the fight choreography. I like the appearance of Endeavor moves. I like the battle between the brothers. All that, really good. However, those are my thoughts. Please tell me your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Make sure that little notification bell so you miss out on any videos that come to the channel. Also, I do have a Patreon down below where you can support for as low as $1 a month. Any support would be appreciated. Thank you so much for watching once again, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. This is Dago the Pencil, writing off.